Hey guys, I am Lisa Positive Paradox, and I am back today with a message. Man, this new moon energy has been something intense, I tell you what. So the sun being in Cancer, the moon being in Cancer, there's been a lot of purging energies that I've been feeling. It's been feeling kind of intense, not just for me, but collectively, I could just feel it. It's been a lot, but it's okay. We're here for it, right? Just gotta keep shifting. Just keep shifting, just keep shifting, just keep shifting. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing awesome today. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you are here watching this movie or video, I want to thank you for your patience and love and support. All right, let's get into this. Holy Spirit, Great Spirit, Benevolent Spirit, please come and protect me, and please come and protect the collective as I channel a divine message from God, from the Most High, and my divine team of supreme beings. God, I pray that you just bless us and you encompass us with your loving presence. Please help me to channel a clear and concise message straight from you about what the collective needs to know when it comes to this healing journey. Spirit, what do we need to know that is for our highest and greatest good at this time, please? Got trust and the great diviner. So this is obviously trusting the divine, having trust. Something that I'm still learning to do too is trying not to have control over what's going on, not needing to know everything all the time. It's really hard, especially when you're into tarot, especially when you like to, what do you call it, like a tarot enthusiast? Especially when you like to, sometimes it's nice to be a couple steps ahead. Shoot. But learning to trust right now is a great time to just trust that everything is unfolding as it should and that you're right where you belong. Easier said than done sometimes, but it's all right. We can work through it together. Ooh, food meditation. Working on, what I'm getting is not just food, but what you're consuming. So this could be like what you're watching, what you're tapping into. This could be, who you're surrounding yourself by, but ultimately, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, paying attention to what you're feeding your body. If you want to sit on a high vibration, then you need to be feeding yourself high vibrational foods. I know sometimes it's really easy, especially if you're like an emotional eater, which I totally went through a phase like that where, all of a sudden the slightest mishap happens and you're like, oh no, all this stress, how do I deal with this, and you just start eating sugars, sweets, comfort foods. It's not always the best thing to do. It's definitely like a coping mechanism is what I've heard people call it, but it's also a type of self-sabotage. So just making sure that while you're going through all of these intense energies and shifts and all of that fun stuff that's going on right now, that you're also taking care of yourself. And this has been kind of a big message I've been getting since, the sun is in Cancer and the moon is in Cancer right now. And Cancer is very much a very mothering, nurturing energy, is that we need to make sure that we're doing the best that we can to mother ourselves through all of this. So not just trusting that everything's going to work out, it's all going to be okay, but also while you're working through this unknown territory, that you're also making sure that you're doing what you can to take care of yourself. Because we attract what we consume into our lives, whether it be, the friends that we have, the conversations that we have, the things that we're watching, if we're watching the news, all of that ridiculous stuff. The food that we're eating, what you surround yourself by. It could be even as easy as the music that you listen to. It's just having more intention with yourself of having, like, pouring better into yourself. All right, what else do we need to know, Spirit? What else do we need to know that is for our highest and greatest good? Is that it from this deck? I guess it is. All right. Yeah, I like that. The bottom of the deck is compassion. Having compassion for yourself as you move through all of this stuff. Let's see what. Let's do this deck. I think this is like something about light oracle. I'm sorry, I'm bad at remembering names sometimes. But it's this cute little deck. It gives mad ancestor vibes. And I've also been feeling that a lot too with all of this. Like this healing, this emotional healing that's been going on. Like it's ancestor deep, man. And that's deep. That's like, that's super deep. That's difficult, but it's okay. Like, I believe in you. I support you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for you, boo-boo. This stuff ain't easy, but it's okay. What do we need to know? All right. What's this? The initiation. Ooh, we're crossing a threshold. So true. Rites of passage. We're getting there. And it's like that calm before the storm. Or you see this where like it's all so dark and it almost looks like some sort of tower energy in the back too. But look at this gateway that we're walking through. Like as soon as we make it through that little threshold right there, it's like onward to better things, onward to brighter, happier moments, and just having this moment of trusting and knowing that we are going to make it through. Oh, and look at this at the bottom of the deck. It's like same colors. It almost looks like, you know, walking through that. And there's that lady standing there. It's like she walked through it. And this is what's on the other side. And it says, where are you being called to journey to? So making sure that you're listening to your heart, making sure that you're listening to what it is that your body is telling you. Heeding the call. Okay, what else? Let's do one of these. I really like oracle cards. Sometimes I like doing tarot, but man, so many people do tarot. Sometimes just oracle, especially with all these intense energies, just get straight to the point. And with starting this new channel, man, yesterday, my first video that I did, I could feel all the energies. It's so different than, like, I've been reading and doing tarot for, like, the last 3 years, for sure. And a lot of that has been, like, with myself, with close friends, you know, one-on-one sort of deal. And then I tried tapping in and doing a little bit of, you know, like the reels or whatever, and I could feel it then. And it got a little bit intimidating, and I felt some energies that I didn't want to feel, and it got kind of intense. But it's like, you know, it's all a learning process, that's for sure. Just trying to discern and make it through all the different energies, because there's so many different people in the world, and like so many people can tap into this. But yeah, I hope that you're resonating with this so far, and if you are not, please just leave it for somebody else. All right, what else do we need to know? What does the collective need to know? Love. And this could be love. This could be like trusting that everything's going to work out in love. I typically don't like to do love readings because everybody's situation's totally different. For me, I personally like just doing like healing. But I mean, ultimately, when it comes down to it, like love is the greatest thing of all. Like love is the one thing that, I mean, we need to make sure that we're having for ourselves before we can actually find love or before we can actually give love. You know what I mean? So this could be like crossing this threshold of, you know, loving yourself, like pouring love into yourself rather than just sitting around expecting love to come and find you. You need to be the love that you're searching for, you know? Oh, and at the bottom, we got divine timing. So, you know, of course, all good things work out in all good timing. It's not up to us. It's up to the universe. Sometimes we have lessons that we got to work through. Maybe that's what this initiation is working through and trying to make it through all these lessons and making sure that we're closing doors before we can open up new ones. This can definitely be in love. And I see worry. That was underneath that. So making sure that we're not worrying, because, where your energy goes, that's where, or like, what is it? Where your attention goes, that's where the energy flows. So if you're focusing on worrying all the time, if you're a worry wart, I know I get it sometimes, like, sometimes it's hard not to just worry, especially if you feel like things just aren't moving in your life. If you feel like, you don't know what steps to take next, if you feel like you're just being kind of unheard, it's because you're going through an initiation, a test of sorts, if you will. But it's okay. Like, everything's going to work out. Don't worry. Put that energy into loving yourself, pouring love into yourself, pour it into creating things for whether you create for business, for pleasure, for, whatever. Just make sure that instead of sitting there and worrying about things, that you're taking the time to basically rewrite your brain, your brain outlets, rewriting, instead of just automatically going to worry, you change that thought process and you turn it into something that could actually, create happiness or stability or a groundedness within yourself. And that could be like art, going for a walk. That could just be something as simple as shifting from, negative thoughts to positive ones. Taking the time to, sit and think about what all makes you happy, what all you're grateful for. Sometimes when it feels like big things are taking over and things aren't really going right, if you just sit and focus on a couple of small things, even if they're just like the tiniest things, like, hey, I woke up this morning, like, that's a big deal. Start focusing on all the small things, and pretty soon those small things will start turning into bigger things, All right. All right. What else do we need to know at this time, please, Spirit? What else do we need to know? What is for our highest and greatest good? Whew. Cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. So yeah, this is just like that precipice. This is just like, before things start really getting better and feeling like, it's always darkest before the dawn sort of deal. Like, oh, and at the bottom, loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, letting God in. So this is like tying all of this together, loosening your grip, trying to have control and be in control of everything all the time. So we're not meant to be in control all the time. We're supposed to be going with the flow, but also that coping mechanism thing totally ties in with this food meditation that I was talking about. And addictions can come in any form. It doesn't have to be just like substance abuse or, whatever. Addiction can be anything that you like focus on too much, anything that, you're pouring your energy into too much, where it's like, suffocating parts of yourself in a sense. So just opening up and softening to love and softening to the fact that, everything's going to work out in divine timing. Everything always works out, even when it feels like all hope is lost. Things just have a funny way of working out, man. I tell you what, I've been through some really, really, really rough situations in my own life, and I totally understand, like, when it gets dark, it gets really dark sometimes, but it's okay. Like, you just gotta ask, you just gotta ask the Most High. You just gotta pray and just be like, hey, I need some light shed on this situation. I need to find a way out. I need, some sort of help, and you'll get it. You'll be able to receive it, It's like how things show up when you always stop looking for it. So, when you're like looking for scissors or tape or something like that, like you're trying so hard to find answers. And the moment that you're like not looking for it, you find it, which can be so dumb and so frustrating. But man, it's like once you stop thinking about it, answers will come. I always got to tell myself that too if I'm like talking to somebody and I get distracted and I'm like, oh man, what was I saying? I always gotta tell myself, oh, it's okay. It must have, not been that important. And if it is important, it will come back to me when I'm, obviously not thinking about it anymore. So it's like, it's okay. It's okay to be cracked open. It's okay to like be sitting in this rock bottom. It's okay to feel like you're being tested, initiated. Loosen your grip. Just let it happen. Just let things go. Let it all flow. And it's all going to work out. Like it looks like, there's a divine plan at hand here. And the word bliss is here. Like bliss and love are right next to each other. Like it feels dark and gloomy and like, woe is me. I need help. There's no way out. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's going to freaking work out. Everything works out. So it's okay. Don't worry your little head. If you need to take time, spend some time out in nature. Like it's scientifically proven that if you go outside and you take your shoes off or you just like sit on the earth, touch a tree, whatever, it's like it turns all those negative ions within your body into positive ones. So it's like if you need to go outside, take some deep breaths. I don't care how close you live to other people. If you're like, oh, I'm worried about what people think about me, like don't even care. Don't even care. It's just let it happen, all right? Like, you owe it to yourself to feel grounded, to feel at peace. You owe it to yourself to just feel happy. And even if you feel like you're in the face of stagnation right now, just know that it's not the end-all be-all, okay? It's gonna be all right. Okay, what's some advice? Ooh, what is this? Power Awakening, Totemic Puma. All right, and this is one that I'm going to read. This is going to be our last little bit here. I feel like this is a good way to close out a nice little reading. All right, and this is a lot to read, but I'm going to read it all for you. Power Awakening. I am Puma. I awaken within you the vigorous energy, fierce power, and ability to act without hesitation when the moment is right. My patience and strategy, my preparation and precision, my fearlessness and decisiveness are now your own. Allow my sacred medicine to fill your soul and bring courage to your heart. You have come into your power. You've got this. Don't let fear or hesitation hold you back. Apply yourself fully to the task. Let go of old ways of viewing yourself as incapable, scattered, or wasteful of energy. You have the ability to focus intently, to generate clear intention, and to achieve your ambitions through methodical steps and applied will. You have the internal resources you need for successful completion. Even if no one else recognizes your potential and believes in your future success, in due course, they will understand differently. By then, you will already be moving on to your next task. Trust your sense of timing. Have patience. When you know it is time to leap, do it without hesitation. Puma moves through your soul as guardian and guide. When Puma appears, it is a significant sign that you have come into your power. Puma moves with stealth and silence, observing, being patient as she narrows her focus. She cultivates energy so that the correct amount of inner power for the outer action is there when needed. When she strikes, it is with precision and effectiveness. She does not waste energy. She chooses her opportunities. Hesitation is not in her nature. There is no time or energy for doubt and uncertainty when one is fully engaged in conscious participation in the moment. You may wonder if this sounds much like you. You may consider yourself to be, at least sometimes, more of a doubter than one prone to fearlessness and certainty. Yet the soul medicine of Puma builds within us silently. We may not even realize that her power is there until all of a sudden, when it is needed, we act with unerring focus and unwavering commitment. We literally didn't know we had it in us until a time came and an attitude of swift, unfailing responsiveness somehow rose up from within. Puma moves with stealth until the right moment to act is upon her. Then she leaves her cover behind, and with unwavering focus, she strikes. You are guided by her to keep your motives, plans, and preparation out of public view. Attend to your work. Become ready to be it rather than talk about it. Part of this medicine is strategy, planning, visualizing the end result. This requires simplicity and clarity, even if the destiny you are seeking to manifest is big and bold. There will be simple steps to take along the way. Puma is the huntress with singular focus. She goes after what is required in that moment, one step at a time, and thereby attains her goals. She strikes successfully because she works precisely. Take time to formulate your goals and go after them one by one, with a sense of patience and calculated timing. Take charge of the situation by your willingness to be patient, to bide your time, to cultivate energy and courage, and trust your intuition to leap when you know the moment is upon you. Puma might bring us the power we need to step into a new role, seize control of a failing project, cut off a toxic situation in our lives, or cease unhelpful, negative self-talk in our own mind. She indicates that a changing relationship with power is available to you now. If you have been repelled by negative uses of power by others, or even yourself, recognize this and let it go. Forgive. Give yourself the chance to open up to using your power in safe and wise ways. Know that you are smart enough to learn from what you didn't honor your soul in the past, or from what didn't honor your soul in the past. When you ask for great spirit to guide you from within your heart, your movements in the world shall benefit more than only yourself. The right use of power, surrendered and in service to the great power of the divine, will help you overcome your reluctance and lay claim to your will. You need your will to transform inspiration into action. The world truly needs this from you. Whatever it is that you dream of attaining or desire to do in this world, Puma arrives with the message. You have the power. All right, and here is the healing process. And this is like usually like a prayer or a moment to take for yourself. So I pray that you embrace this with me as I read this part to you. All right, it says, find a comfortable place to relax. Say aloud, Puma, spirit of the sun, fire of the earth, you are fierceness and intelligent use of power, embodied in sacred feminine form. Your presence awakens the power within my soul, and I leave doubt and fear behind. I am patient. I am determined. I shall not be swayed from my purpose. Procrastination and hesitation are no longer part of my way. I embrace your gifts for the greatest good. With your certainty, I find my own conviction renewed. It is not a question of if, but a question of when. My spiritual attainment is inevitable, so be it. And then it says, read through the simple visualization slowly as you feel the energy in the description. So try and feel this in your own body, in your own energy. Golden fur, shimmering copper in the sunlight, heat pulsing beneath the skin as waves of contained energy are ready to be channeled in clean action at the right moment. Lean and powerful muscle, watchful, steady gaze, no thought or distraction, just pure focus. The power rises within, and the moment to leap is here. Action, aliveness. This medicine wisdom of bold aliveness without hesitation is within my own soul, and I claim it. Now you can either close your eyes and relax or get up and move your body in whatever way feels best, for as long as feels good for you, and you have completed this healing process. Yeah, so I feel like that was extremely well-rounded, and it sounds like, we just need to put fear and doubt to the side and stop worrying and stop trying to, have this intense control over things, and just know, like, literally everything's going to work out. I know things can be really heavy sometimes, especially with everything else that's going on in the world all at once, but it's okay. Just focus on yourself right now. If you start finding yourself getting overwhelmed from outside, I almost wanted to say resources, but outside influences, just take a step back. Just shift your focus to within. You don't have to be focusing on everything outside of yourself all at once. You know what I mean? It can be a lot to take in. So I thank you for joining me today, and I hope that this message resonated and helped at least one person. If so, I ask that you please hit that like button, share it if you feel called, please subscribe if you want to join me on this journey. And I thank you from the very bottom of my heart. I hope that the rest of your day is absolutely beautiful, and I wish you peace through this transformation. All right, goodbye.